the merchandising engine is here also to facilitate the job of the merchandising team.
Hello everyone, welcome to the amazing podcast session. I am Ritika Singh, business developer at Webcool. In today's episode, we have invited Mr. Roman Ruat from Paris, who is the co-founder of Elasticsuit. Elasticsuit's headquarters are situated in France with more than 6,200 e-merchants activity. So let's first understand what is Elasticsuit. Elasticsuit is a merchandising solution which is helping B2B and B2C businesses to integrate search solutions into their businesses, such as Adobe, Magento, or WooCommerce. So now let's start the podcast session. So hello everyone. Today we have our special guest, Mr. Roman Ruat from Paris. He's the co-founder and director of Elasticsuit. Let me tell you, he has recently partnered with us. So before further delay, let's hear it from Roman himself. Hi Roman. Welcome to the podcast session. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast session. So I'm Roman. I'm 34 years old. I live in France, as you said, and I've worked for Smile since 12 years. Several years ago, I joined the innovation board of Smile, and I began working on R&D projects around e-commerce topics, therefore especially around Magento. My team worked on some problematics that Smile needed to solve in order to leverage Magento to be able to deal with enterprise-grade customers. Back in the days, we created the first implementation of Varnish for Magento 1 to be able to deal with proper caching strategies. Then we also published an implementation of a MongoDB backend storage for Magento 1 to be able to deal with catalogs containing millions of products. And finally, the last project I jumped into was the implementation of an Elasticsearch connector for Magento 1. This project was named Elasticsuite when we published it for Magento 2.
Thank you so much. So, please tell us something about your products and the clients with you are dealing currently.
Yeah, sure. So actually, I work for Smile. Smile is the European leader of the open source. So the company has 2,000 employees, mostly in France and Ukraine, but we also have agencies in Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany, and Morocco. And we are also actively seeking partners worldwide. That's also why we partnered with Webcool in India. And we are thrilled to have our first project in India with Webcool. As a subsidiary company of Smile, the Elasticsuite team is composed of around 10 members. Uh, my team is responsible for the development of our two products, which are Elasticsuite for Magento and our newborn Gali, which is the sequel of Elasticsuite, allowing us to target merchants that are using any other e-commerce platform than Magento.
Okay. So, tell us something. What is e-commerce search engines? You have mentioned that Elasticsuit. So, how you can compare Elasticsuit with search engines these days in e-commerce?
Yeah, nowadays people don't call it just search engine, and we do not either. We prefer to speak about product discovery solution or merchandising solution. Because back in the days, search engines were responsible only for displaying products on an e-commerce website. According to the query of the visitor, it was like the customer has searched for dress, we must show the dresses we have in the catalog. But nowadays, merchants and their customers want more than that. The merchants need to be able to configure the ranking of the products like they would do on the physical shop. The search engine must also be able to suggest products to the customer like a salesman would do in the real life. So that's why nowadays we prefer to call it product discovery or merchandising solution rather than just a search engine.
Okay. So, what is the need of an e-commerce search engines? So, what are the key benefits? If I
Actually, there are a lot of reasons why a merchant should have a good product discovery solution. First, if he wants to leverage on user experience, he will need to have a search engine that is fast, relevant, when the user is searching for something. That's the starting point. But as I said, nowadays people expect more than that. So every merchant wants to be able to leverage on their conversion rate as well. And that's something a product discovery solution can bring with the ability to create product rankings. Like the merchants can decide to promote products of a given brand or to promote products according to their popularity, or even more, promote product according to the seasonality. As an example, if a customer is searching for glasses and we are in summer, it's probably better if the search engine is capable of promoting sunglasses. And also, the merchant generally plans to leverage on additional sales or on the average cart amount. If he wants to do that, he will need a product discovery solution that is capable of suggesting product to their customer with personalized recommendations or cross-selling blocks on the website. And last but not least, the merchandising engine is here also to facilitate the job of the merchandising team, the people that will work on the back office of the e-commerce website on the day-to-day. Having a good search engine can be a huge time saver for the marketing team of the merchant as well.
Okay. That means these days search engines are playing a key role in e-commerce product discovery, search solutions, right? So, Roman, I just want to ask you that you had mentioned several benefits that merchandising solutions are playing a key role. So, being an e-commerce store merchant, what are the key points to remind and to keep in mind while choosing any search engine for any of the e-commerce company? Yeah, please tell us.
Yeah, well, so if I were a merchant, I would look at the following points. First, obviously, what are the features offered by each of the solutions that I am benchmarking? But nowadays, if you go over the marketing stuff and you dig a bit more, most of the solutions in the market are quite similar to each other. They all do the same stuff. So then I would check also if they are extensible. Because it's great to have off-the-shelf features for merchants, but each business is unique and all merchants want to offer a unique experience to their customer as well. Plus, each merchant has complex business rules to implement. So, if I were a merchant, I would not want to be tied to something that is rigid. I would prefer to be able to build upon the solution and not to be imprisoned in the functional perimeter of the search engine, which is that something that happens often with SaaS solution. If you're using a SaaS merchandising solution, you'll have to stick with what it offers and you will not be able to build on top of that. And finally, as a merchant, I would have big concerns about my customers' data. Because actually most of the SaaS solutions are collecting e-commerce data like the sales of each product, the conversion rate, the cart amount, and so on. And as a merchant, I know how much value this data represents for me. So I would not be very happy to know that any third-party company is sucking it up and probably reselling to any other third-party company.
So that means it depends on the size of the business, what we have, or any e-commerce merchant have. No, they can select on the basis of the size of their company as well, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. So, Roman, you had tell us about Elasticsearch. So there's a common term, Elasticsearch engine. So how we can compare what is Elasticsearch and Elasticsearch engine?
Yeah, it's easy to understand. Elasticsearch is only the backend solution. It's the place where all the product data will be stored and where all the computations will be made. But Elasticsearch himself does not offer any back office or configuration screen. It's just like a database. And Elasticsearch himself is not clever enough to know which product should be ranked before each other, how it should promote some products compared to each other, and so on. So that's why on top of Elasticsearch, we've built Elastic Suite and Gali. Uh, our products offer the ability to configure everything related to Elasticsearch easily with back office screens where you just have to click, configure stuff, and so on for the merchants. So that makes it easy for them to leverage on top of that by creating some business rules dedicated to merchandising. In fact, this allows any non-tech savvy user to manage complex merchandising rules, business rules, to teach Elasticsearch how he should use those rules to promote the product.
Okay. So you had tell us about Galley. So could you add some more information? Is it a dedicated product of Elasticsuite or
Yeah,
any AI-based solution?
yeah, Gali is our new product, which is the sequel of Elastic Suite. Back in the days, we had only Elastic Suite in Magento, and Elastic Suite is a Magento module. It's embedded into Magento. But we wanted to be able to deal with WooCommerce, OpenCart, and so on. So that's why we've built Gali, which is a new product, but it's the same team behind it, and it's the same logic. It still relies on Elasticsearch, but Gali can be installed separately and used by a merchant that is running any other e-commerce solution.
Okay. That means there's no restrictions for any of the e-commerce platform. It will be compatible with whether it is CS Cart, OpenCart, WooCommerce, or any other platform, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the goal of Gali, to be compatible with any existing e-commerce platform in the world.
Okay, great. And if I came to Magento, you had tell us that you had integrated it with Magento. So is it also there's only solution for Magento, or there's another solutions for Adobe Commerce Cloud? Is it workable for enterprise level?
Yeah, you can use Elastic Suite with Adobe Commerce Cloud version of Magento. That works pretty well. We've got a lot of clients running it. And of course, we also work with Magento open source customer for smaller shops.
Okay. So, Roman, there are multiple search engines here in market, such as Algolia Search or other. So, how we can? Is there any open source search engine solutions in the market?
In fact, there are other open source search engines like Apache Solr, but they are equivalent to Elasticsearch. They are just a database to store the data. To my knowledge, there are no equivalent of Elastic Suite or Gali of a complete product that can be customized by any merchant or agency.
Okay. So, okay. So, I want to ask you, do you have any client success story, any client, any recent use case with you? Could you please share it with us?
Yeah, I can tell you about a client that we have, which is running a B2B website. So his website is selling products to very different customers. So the needs of these merchants was basically to be able to do different rankings for products according to the business of the final customer. As an example, if I am a baker and I'm searching for paper bag, I need to see brown craft paper bags with a bread logo on it. But if I am a pharmacist and I'm searching for paper bags as well, I need to see completely different products. I need to see white paper bags with a red cross drawn on it. So to achieve this, our team assisted the client to build a contextualization configuration on the product ranking rules of Elastic to be able to say that a particular rule would only apply to a particular business of the end user. So that's a good example of how much it's important to have an open source merchandising engine to be able to build those kind of complex rules on top of it.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us. So these days there's a term chat GPT, it's in boom these days.
Yeah.
So are you also using chat GPT, or what are your views on that? Is it going to boom in the market simply?
Yeah, I don't know if it will boom as ChatGPT or as other AI models, but I think the AI is there and it will be there for the long run, of course. We do think it's definitely the future of search as well, because what we have in mind with Elasticsearch and Gally is to be able to leverage on how the people are interacting with the search engine. Because for many years, people have been talking with search engines like cave people. If you are searching for a dress, you will only say dress. You will not ask the engine to find you a suitable dress for a marriage. But since ChatGPT appeared and accelerated this, I think that's going to change. And it's likely that in the coming years, people will expect to be able to chat directly with the e-commerce product discovery and will be willing to ask the search engine things like, please find me a business dress that is suitable for hot temperatures. So that's how, in my mind, ChatGPT will change the way people are interacting with the engine on e-commerce websites.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this information. I just want to ask you that what is your targeted merchants? Elasticsuit is targeting the e-commerce merchant. Is there any restrictions for this one, or you are targeting multiple industries as well?
Yeah, there are no limitation. In fact, we have actually 10,000 websites running Elasticsearch in the world. So I can say that with Elasticsearch, people have sell anything that exists. We have weapons shop, we have bookshops, clothes shops, B2B industry shops, and so on. So no limitation on business at all.
Okay. So yes, it is suitable for all type of business, and like small merchants, mid-level merchants, or big enterprises as well, right?
Yes, exactly. It can fit with any size of business and any kind of business.
Yeah. So, Roman, would you like to share about your Elasticsuit? How many people were involved in the development of Elasticsuit when that was in development phase, or when that was in the mind? Yes.
Yeah, we had probably something like 12 of, or 14 people at the max capacity when we were rebuilding Gally. We have developers, of course, we have salesmen, we have UX designers working on the interfaces of the application. We have a product owner which is working with me on defining the product roadmap and driving the development team. And that's all. And the team is mostly in France, but we have also some people in Ukraine.
Okay. So what will be the roadmap for Elasticsuit? Further support for e-commerce or other platforms?
Yeah, so our roadmap for 2023 is mostly focused on Gally. So Gally, as I said, is our new product, which is targeting any other e-commerce platform than Magento. So we'll work on adding feature to Gally. That's our roadmap for 2023. But on top of that, we do have the feeling that the future of e-commerce will be composable commerce. with an API first philosophy. So that's why Gali is engineered this way, to be usable in a composable commerce approach. So we'll also work on what we call mixing experience between product content, which is the e-commerce content, and simple content, which can be blog posts, articles that will come to feed Gali to leverage the experience of the final user. Because if I go to an e-commerce website and I want to buy a new pair of ski, I'd like the engine to show me products, of course, ski, but I'd like the engine to be able to show me as well a guide, like how to choose the proper pair of ski for you according to what you plan to do with your skis. So mixing the content and the product is also something that is very important for us to achieve, to be able to help the merchants to deliver really engaging experiences to their customers.
Hope for the best. So Roman, I'm done with my questions. Thank you so much for your time. It
Thank you.
was a pleasure talking with you. Yeah. I hope we will get in touch again in future as well.
Yeah, sure. I hope so. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure. And we keep in touch.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. And the session was very informative for me too. Thank you so much, Roman.
Thank you.
So that's all about today's session. And if you want to watch our previous podcasts, visit our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates from our end. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.